You know, I just loved my 4 years at Sam Houston. I just loved every minute of it. I have my best friends are still from Sam Houston, and my memories really are about those 4 years. I met my wife at Sam Houston. She was not in the College of Business, but huge blessing in my life. But it's really, I think back about the favorite times really being going to class, the teachers being focused on really helping the students.
Working with Gary Whitlock was always such a joy because he is such a consummate professional that's driven to succeed. And the thing that you find about Gary is that Gary's always looking toward the future. How can I do this better than I've done it before? And so when you work around someone with that kind of attitude, it becomes infectious and you just kind of grab onto it.
I define success I think in a very holistic way. I don't think it, again, is just about a career. I think it's about the full person. I don't think you can separate one's career from their personal life.
Gary, I think his most memorable and best attribute has to deal with his integrity. If you went to Webster's dictionary and you looked up the word integrity, you would probably see a picture of Gary Whitlock next to integrity.
I know in my 35 years in business, I've seen many examples where people may have been successful if measured by financial success, but not be successful in terms of the whole person, in terms of their family, their friends, their relationships, their priorities, giving back to their communities, giving back to their university, giving back, period. So I really think that defining success obviously is personal, but I think it's more than just dollars and cents and net worth. It's really about the legacy that you leave behind, and that ranges from your children to your marriage to your relationships at work. It's very broad.
And his whole concept and approach has been, as a leader, if the team wins, then everybody wins. And so that again becomes infectious to you, that you got to do that. And I owe a lot of my success as an HR leader because of some of the concepts that I learned from him and working with him for 30 years.
The one attribute that I think really can make a difference or makes a difference in success, of individual success or organization success, is servant leadership. Is the characteristic that you're really focused on serving others and providing servant leadership, and that's defined by, again, a number of ways. It's really defined by focusing not on yourself, but focusing on others. It's defined by reaching out, making a difference in the lives of other people, and I think that makes a huge difference. Not taking credit for things and not worrying about taking credit. And there's an old saying, there's no limit to how far you can go as long as you don't worry about taking the credit. And I think it's an attribute that I've seen great leaders that I've observed in 35 years have that attribute. They ultimately are not about themselves, they're about others. And by the way, they end up winning in any way you define it by focusing on others.
I remember the time when his first child was born, Megan, and we were both young accountants at Dow Chemical. And to see this driven professional who was always about the business at hand sit with his beautiful young daughter, and you heard all of the goo-goos and the gagas, and I tell you, that helped me see another side of Gary Whitlock that said, this guy is really genuine and real, and he's a human being, and that makes him pretty darn special.